State Wolfpack are going to the Sweet 16, and you better believe it, we're drinking the Kool-Aid.
You are Locked On Wolfpack, your daily podcast on the NC State Wolfpack, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, Wolfpack Nation? Happy Saturday night. This live stream is brought to you by our friends at Nissan. Are you the kind of driver that likes to push things just a little bit further? Do you ever wonder what adventure could be around the corner? Take the Nissan Rogue, the Nissan Pathfinder, or the Nissan Armada and go find your next big adventure. Maybe it's in the Sweet 16. Check them all out today at nissanusa.com. As always, I'm Grayson Boone, joined by former Wolfpack defensive tackle Kenton Gibbs. Kenton, anything you want to talk about? Anything going on this evening? Anything I missed, perhaps? Your NC State Wolfpack are going to the Sweet 16. Real sentence. That happened. Is this a dream? Is this a fever right now?
Hey, listen, it hurt like hell to hold that sign up, but guess what? Guess what? We go, you know what I mean? What those young men are going through, 5 games, 5 days, 5 wins. Back that up with the first ever tournament win in Keats' career at NC State. Back that up with the second ever tournament win in Keats' career at NC State. I'll tell you what, how sweet it is to still be dancing. How sweet it is to still be able to get a little bachata, a little tango, a little, just a little something. Hit the Dougie, do whatever you do your line dance, do your two-step. But either way it goes, this NC State team is still dancing.
Man, go get your Kool-Aid, go get your ice cream, go get anything you need to celebrate this win because it's been a long time. For the first time since 2015, it's been 9 years. NC State has not only won a tournament game, they've won 2 tournament games, and they're going to the Sweet 16. A 79-73 victory in overtime over what is, quote-unquote, America's team. We're America's team. Let's get one thing straight. We are America's team. We've been America's team, and we're going to be America's team in the Sweet 16. I want to give a lot of credit to Oakland. I thought they played a hell of a game. I thought their head coach Campy did a spectacular job game planning for NC State. I thought NC State for, I'd say like 75% of the game, they honestly played into the hands of Oakland. And so that is credit to Oakland's game plan. Their players, of course, everyone wants to talk about Golke. He's a shooter, man. You have to give credit where credit is due. You expected him to hit a couple. You knew he was going to get his. Casey Morcell did a phenomenal job keeping him at bay tonight. And Townsend's the other one. If you have Golke locked up, the only other guy they can look to is Townsend, and he put on for him. He showed up and absolutely showed out, but it just wasn't enough to break the will of the NC State Wolfpack. This run, I tweeted there several times, they didn't come this far to lose to Oakland and only come this far. You were not going to stop DJ Burns tonight. You are not going to stop Ben Middlebrooks, even though the refs had other ideas, and you're not going to stop Mo Diarra. What a gritty overtime win by the NC State Wolfpack.
Yeah, and you know, the guys that we warned about in the pregame were the exact guys to get it done. Obviously, Coach Keats mentioned him in the scouting report. He said these are their guys, but guess what? They're good players. I talked about the fact that they were badly underseeded coming into the tournament. I don't think that that's a 14 seed, period. They didn't play like it against Kentucky. They didn't play like it against State tonight. But guess what? We showed who we are in this night. And like I keep telling everybody, don't give up on this team, okay? I don't think that people truly realize how instrumental everything that happened over the past 2 calendar weeks has been. I really and truly don't. I hate to go to other sports with it, but we talk about, NC State stuff. baseball was blowing every lead you could give them to start this season off. Down 6 runs in the 8th inning. I'm sorry. No, they started the 9th down 7 runs, didn't they? Or 6 runs, didn't they?
Yeah, it was 8-2.
8-2 to start the 9th off, and somehow it ends in an NC State walk-off. This team, there's something about the energy and the mojo around this team. There's something about the way that these guys are looking and feeling. And I'll tell you this much. All of the talk and all of the speculation about who's going to transfer out of the program. So far, there's been one name announced that's transferring out of this basketball program. Everybody else is locked in. Everybody else is on the bench excited for the next guy up or for whoever is in the game. This team is truly the definition of team. This team, DJ Burns gets more excited for Ben Middlebrooks than Ben Middlebrooks gets excited for Ben Middlebrooks. and vice versa. So this team, man, and I'm going to say one last thing before I pass it back to you. The completeness of these efforts, the completeness of it all. What do I mean by completeness? How many wins did we have this year where it was like, boy, if DJ Horn wasn't here, whew.
A little too many.
And yet, DJ Horn gave us precious little in the second half in overtime, and we still come out with a win to go to the Sweet 16. There were times where we saw foul trouble in the front court. We all know how good Modiar's been, and yet there was some foul trouble there. We all know how hard Ben Middlebrooks been hustling, how good he's been in the tournament, and yet we had some foul trouble there. We all know how impactful DJ Burns is against any big that don't got some girth to them as well.
Yeah.
And yet we saw some things going on there in terms of some very interesting calls and what folks were liberties that players were allowed to take against them. And we still come out with a win. Just complete team efforts, stringing together this many in a row. It's phenomenal.
You want to be the boss? You got to pay the price.
Yeah.
DJ Burns going for 24 points on 9 of 12 shooting tonight, when you had to figure that Oakland's probably their main game plan was to take DJ Burns out of it. And we said on the live stream just the other night after we had beaten Texas Tech, I mean, to me, the game plan should be nothing else than pound the ball in the paint and make Oakland defend you. And early in the first half, it looks like that message had been received. We were going down low to DJ, going down low to Mo Diarra. Just Casey Morcell was getting in the mix a bit. Just they didn't have the bodies to defend us in the paint. And
not at all.
I'm not going to complain too much about the officiating. It was bad. The front court got absolutely mugged tonight. You
are going to complain, but I am. I am. I'll tell you that much right now. You know, they were getting away with highway robbery against our bigs out there. And every time we breathed on somebody, it was looking like a foul. Or, you know, again, that backcourt that led to Ben Middlebrooks fouling out, I believe. Believe that was, yeah. What a blown missed call there. You know, if they had the last 2-minute report like the NBA, whew. But like I said in that tweet, the fix can't stop the pack.
What is it about Ben Middlebrooks that makes him such a target for poor foul calls? It's been all year long. He has been subject to some of the worst calls you have ever seen. But even that did not break the will of NC State tonight. And we talk a lot or recently about NC State stuff coming to an end. Do you believe it now? Do you believe that we have now put NC State stuff in the grave now? So many times you could have lost the momentum in this game. You saw multiple opportunities for State to find themselves in a hole and become buried in this one. And it didn't matter. It didn't matter. 8-on-5, 7-on-5, didn't matter. Yeah. That's such an incredible testament to the will of this NC State basketball team right now. And not only to talk about the front court, you got to talk about the guard play as well. In a night where you didn't have so much DJ Horn, you did have a lot of Michael O'Connell. He hit some massive shots tonight for the Pack. Jaden Taylor probably hit the biggest shot he's hit all year there in overtime, a bit of a dagger from 3. I love to see Jaden Taylor hit that shot because he, like DJ Burns, has been another guy subject to a lot of scrutiny over the course of this season. So for him to come up in that spot, love that for him. And especially, too, maybe still a bit hobbled on the ankle. I thought he looked a little healthier tonight than he has the last couple games, but love that spot for him. O'Connell was a leader tonight.
Yeah.
That is the reason you bring Michael O'Connell to NC State for a game like tonight. Stepped up, took the reins, made all of the plays necessary that he had to make, and it was humongous in the end. Shout out to Michael O'Connell. Shout out Jaden Taylor. I mean, you can't really not shout out the entire team for an effort like this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, my brain is just pinballing right now, trying to comprehend what we have just witnessed here. And
what you saw was a team that won't quit.
Yeah.
That's what you saw. A team. We always talk about the culture, and we had questions about the culture late in the season this year, and rightfully so. Right? There were times where it didn't seem like there was an intense culture for NC State this season, and yet, what happened in these past few games? Right? We go all the way back, right? Because this is one of the most direct line without the blacksmith making the horseshoe, the war isn't won moments. I say that phrase a lot. Trust me, if you don't know what it means, go back and look at some of our other episodes. Long story short, the reality of this thing is simple. If this team decides, you know what, we're losing to Louisville, it's time to pack it in. We don't see Michael O'Connell having the ability to hit that shot against UVA. If Michael O'Connell doesn't believe and hit that shot against UVA, we don't see the ability to manhandle a Texas Tech. And then we don't see Jaden Taylor with the ability to step up in this moment where he had been much maligned all year, and at times, rightfully so, because the shooting just was not there. But Coach Keats has established a culture of regardless what's going on, regardless how you feel, what you're going through, you don't quit. You just don't quit. And that's what this team, if anything, I don't care if they don't win another game or if they win 3 more. This team will forever be remembered as one. They did not go down, and they did not go gently into the night. They fought and fought and fought until there was nothing left to fight.
I have some exact comments on that in just 1 second after perhaps the most hilarious timing of an ad read ever. Our first ad for this live episode is Manscaped. This episode is brought to you by the spring cleaning champions, Manscaped. This season, make sure to groom your carpets and the drapes with the leaders in below-the-waist grooming. Clear out that winter bush with Manscaped. That was a real sentence. Lawnmower 5.0, and watch your confidence bloom like the springtime flowers. Embrace the season and join the 10 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with our special offer. Go to manscaped.com and use code LOCKEDON for 20% off plus free shipping. Whether you're looking to craft your signature look or clean up that neckline, there's always the right tools for the job. And if you hate making a mess, not to worry, this bad boy is waterproof. Shave in the shower, shave in the bath, or even the ocean if you feel so inclined. Get 20% off and free shipping with code LOCKEDON at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with code LOCKEDON, LOCKEDON at manscaped.com. Nothing like a little spring cleaning in your pants. What a way to finish that ad read there. But okay, you were talking about the will of this team and fighting no matter what. Is that not the spirit of what NC State is? Is that not the truest testament of what an NC State fan, an NC State athlete, an NC State supporter, everything?
Yeah.
Everything. This run and these moments where you think they might break, but they fight through anyway. For the last 37 plus years, we've referred back to the 83 run and Valvano, you never give up. You have a dream. Ordinary people do extraordinary things. I'm trying not to make myself cry again here. Is this run that we are witnessing, is that not everything that is right about NC State? This is what we have built our athletic program culture on. And to witness this in real life it leaves me speechless. It is absolutely mind-boggling to watch what we are seeing right now.
Yeah, this is a team that dug it out, dug deeper, found that place, They found that place that few ever go to, that place where your back is against the wall, that place where nobody believes in you, that place where the announcers are talking like they're Oakland's personal broadcast team, that place where everybody's saying everyone outside of Raleigh is a Grizzly right now, that place that you get in that foxhole moment and you've got nothing but your brothers next to you. The cheers for DJ Burns every time he touches the ball, they faded. The friendly whistles some of the times that we got in the ACC tournament where we looked up and saw, wait a minute, did we just shoot 40 free throws in a game? It's gone. That moment where it's your legs are supposed to be gone because of how much basketball you played and what amount of time that you played it in. And then you go to overtime and everybody says, that's it. That's all. That's all she wrote. But you go to that place and you find something special, something different, something that champions are made of. And that is what this team found. That's what this team found more than anything else.
And Dennis, this comment here, giving Coach Keats his shine is exactly what I will now do. Yep. And mention, you sort of touched on it there. Just 11 calendar days ago, Kevin Keats was 20 minutes from likely being handed his walking papers. If you lose that second half and you lose to Louisville, you got to think he's out of here. You fast forward to March the 23rd. He's taking the NC State Wolfpack to the Sweet 16. Have you ever experienced a turnaround like this? I mean,
no.
The focus and the determination and the never say die mindset that something like that takes. Here's a thought for you. Is it not the most NC State thing that you're working on a 30 for 30 of outdoing the performance that your previous 30 for 30 was about? That's the trajectory they're on right now. That is the turnaround that Kevin Keats is orchestrating right now. I thought he did a very good job coaching in game in this game tonight. Obviously, the game plan was to take Golke out of it. For the most part, like I said, you expected him to get some, but they did that. They didn't allow Golke to beat you, and that's a success. That's a check mark in my book. Townsend made it interesting, but the one guy you could not let get loose was Golke, and they didn't. So that's a coaching victory right there. I thought he did the best that he could, being that his bigs kept finding themselves in foul trouble. I thought he did very, very adequate with the rotations and distribution of minutes. I thought that proved to be effective. There were a couple times that, tweeting through the game, I found myself, it seemed like we sort of got away from NC State's brand of basketball here in the last 11 days. It seems like they kind of got outside of their range of comfortability. They kind of played into the hands like Oakland, like I mentioned. And you weren't going to win a 3-point contest with Oakland. No, not at all. Everyone could see that coming from a mile away. You were not going to win that. And so kind of shying away from just playing absolute bully ball in the paint, that became the frustrating part of that. But toward the end there, when DJ Burns got that look in his eye, and we all know what that look is. Yeah. When you saw DJ Burns get that look in his eye, you know where the ball was going.
He went to that place. He went to that place I was talking about earlier. And he showed that I'm the biggest, strongest guy on the court. And I'll tell you what, y'all remember being little kids and I was the biggest, strongest kid on the playground, but y'all remember when that kid was like getting it going and all you could do was just watch, like you've got him on your team and you just said, boy, I'm damn glad to have him. That's all you could think at certain points in time when DJ Burns was regulating in overtime. That's all you could think. And that, that rebound off the Jaden Taylor missed mid-range to put it back. And I'll tell you one more thing before we get off of Kevin Keats and giving him his shine. Do y'all think it's coincidental that DJ Horn, despite his offensive struggles, had a massive block on a 3 late in that game? Do y'all think that it's by coincidence that Jaden Taylor, despite, again, not just Jaden Taylor, this entire team struggled all year from deep. If your name wasn't DJ Horn, you struggled from deep at some point in time this season. And now all of a sudden, everybody's still believing. Everybody's still rolling. Michael O'Connell didn't do much by scoring this regular season, but now all of a sudden he seems to be a guy that whatever this team needs, however much, whatever volume of him this team needs, he's ready to give it. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. When you heard those guys talk about Keats and what he means to them in the post-game press conference of the ACC tournament, it tells you his belief in them, his strict discipline in that he doesn't have that player's coach style to him. He has that, this is the program. Nobody's bigger than the program. We're going to do it this way. You could say, well, he's crazy for benching a starter for being a couple minutes late to a film session. But look where they are because of that style and that temperament. That temperament where every player has to buy in and believe, and just everybody's not going to be the star, but star in your role. That's Kevin Keats. That's Kevin Keats right there. And again, you could say, well, hey, you're doing a complete 180 on where you were 11 days ago. I am not above saying, hey, new information has been presented. My opinion changes.
Yeah. No, I mean, and that's where we all are. This is. Because I think changing your opinion in a sense where it's like, oh, well, I always knew they were capable of this. That is extremely revisionist. And you know it.
Well, we all knew they were capable because remember the buzz in the offseason. When the portal was rolling, everybody was like, oh, this is going to be one of those ones. So I would agree that everybody knew it was capable, but what I will say is revisionist history. People say, well, I wanted them all along. Stop.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Stop it. You know what I mean? But I get you. I get you 1,000%.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, you mentioned Michael O'Connell did not score against Texas Tech. Still found ways to be supplemental. Did not score in that game. 12 points, 8 assists tonight.
Yeah.
You talk about impacting the games in different ways at different points in time. Michael O'Connell, man, he had a huge bucket there with the shot clock winding down. I believe it was either tie or take the lead in regulation before we got to overtime. I mean, it's somebody different every night. It has the ability to be somebody different every night. And that goes back to the depth that we were harping on coming into the season. And we had a lot of criticisms about the actual roster construction, but here we are now. I mean, the way that this roster is constructed is now winning games in the postseason. So you have to give Keats the credit. I mean, a lot of us were checked out. A lot of us didn't think they could do it. Here they are. They're going to the Sweet 16. What more could you possibly say on that point? It's absolutely spectacular. I can't believe it. I can't believe what I'm seeing right now.
I would not be upset at all if they proved my bracket wrong. I would not be upset at all if the Wolfpack end up being the national champs here. I would not be upset at all if they can pull off 3 more wins. They can find it in them to pull off 3 more. But again, appreciate everything.
Yes.
Expect nothing.
Hey, nothing changes. We're along for the ride. We've said this since the Louisville win in Washington, D.C. We're along for the ride. Where expectations are at sea level. Anything we get from here on out kind of feels like a bonus. However, you badly wanted to win this one.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet 16 absolutely. Hadn't been there in 9 years. The last time, and ironically, the last time we advanced to the Sweet 16, it was also in Pittsburgh. So perhaps Pittsburgh has now officially become Raleigh North because of our postseason success up there. But why not us, man? Why stop here? Why stop at the Sweet 16? This team, and I saw a great tweet from our guy Ryan Williams at Inside Pack Sports. He said, it looks like this team can beat anyone, but not just that. The team thinks they can beat anyone, and that's where you're dangerous. That is where you are dangerous. I've said it multiple times over this run. There's nothing more dangerous than a team with nothing to lose. They fear no one, and they proved it again tonight. Gritty overtime win against the upstart Golden Grizzlies of Oakland, and we're moving on. Absolutely unbelievable. I'm going to pay another ad here. I believe our second ad is Game Time. This is important now. Next weekend, NC State is playing in Dallas, and if you're looking for tickets, get on over to Gametime. You shouldn't have to worry when you're buying tickets to your next big event. Gametime is the fastest and easiest way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater events near you. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their best price guarantee, Gametime takes the guesswork out of buying tickets. You can see the view from your seat before you buy, so you know exactly what to expect upon arrival. Their all-in prices show your total upfront, so you know you're getting a great deal before you check out, and you can buy tickets in only seconds with just a number of taps. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply, and again, create an account and use redeem code LOCKEDON, LOCKEDON, for $20 off. Download Gametime today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. All right, getting into our last couple minutes here because we got to let folks go at some point. There's partying to be done this Saturday night. Your NC State Wolfpack are going to the Sweet 16. So a couple things here. One, we've been talking about the momentum and how important that is on a run like this. And again, translating it to football, all the national spotlight that the football team experienced near the end, that 5-game win streak, and Dave Dorn is telling you know who to do you know what on national TV. That type of thing helped in recruiting in the offseason. The same thing here with basketball. Everyone is paying attention to NC State basketball right now. Yep. If they weren't America's team before, you better believe they are now. Everyone knows about it. Everyone knows about DJ Burns. I've seen countless edits of DJ Burns walking down the hallway onto the court and then playing bully ball in the NCAA tournament. Everyone wants to see DJ Burns flourish in this tournament. And what does that mean? All eyes are on NC State. Recruiting, transfer portal, all that stuff is currently relevant. The portal is currently open. So there are guys jumping into the portal, and with teams losing this tournament, you're going to see bigger names appear. They're going to be looking at NC State saying, what are these boys doing over here? What is Coach Keats doing in Raleigh with this team making an unbelievable turnaround? I wonder if I can make a difference on that team next year. That's a very real thing going on right now. So this run is not just important for the fan base, not just important for chasing another championship. It's important for already trying to build into next season. So many things are going in the direction of NC State basketball right now.
And I want to also point out something that's important for the portal. We're a team that you can honestly look at and say, how many of the guys that are balling right now, that are the big-time performers right now, aren't transfers?
Yeah.
How many? Like, there's no, there's been talks of some teams who favor the homegrown, quote-unquote, talents and all that good stuff. But look at what Keats has done with all of these guys who came in here either last year with DJ Burns or came in here this year with a Horn, a Taylor, a O'Connell, Diarra. This is the type of stuff that if I'm a player in the portal, I'm looking at and I'm saying, not only what are they doing over there, but who's doing it over there? Is this a situation where I know I'm always going to be second fiddle because this guy is, well, he may not be the scorer I am, but he was there for 3 years. No, the best players are going to play. The best players are going to play, and that's what Keats is doing. That's how this rotation has worked out. And again, this is all about the team. It's not about I need to get my shots up. It's not about I need to get my assists. It's not about I need to get my rebounds. It's about what do I need to do for the team. Yes. And that, like you said, that bodes well for everything. And I'll tell you, we talk about everybody chipping in $37 in NIL for a conference tournament. I think, now I could be wrong here, Grayson, but methinks 83 would be an appropriate amount.
Hey now.
For a natty. Everybody chip in 83. I think that'd be an appropriate amount.
I think it's you 83 plus 24. Maybe add that up and throw it into NIL.
A little 107 ball in there. Oh, that ain't bad. That ain't bad.
Second point I want to get to, and I've already seen the chat start rolling on this topic in particular. So NC State moves to the Sweet 16. They will play the winner of Marquette and Colorado. I'm not picking who I'd rather play because in that same sense, I think we can play with anybody. Marquette's a very good team. They're a 2 seed. They ran atop the Big East nearly all season long. They're a hard matchup for NC State. That would be a very difficult game. Colorado, they're seemingly still scoring buckets on Florida, probably. They put up 102 on the Gators' heads and won a very exciting game in their first round. Now, Colorado's interesting because they have almost like a Costco version of DJ Burns. Lampkin, their center, is another big boy in the centerpiece. And so that'd be a very fun matchup, I believe. But for NC State right now, whoever you get is whoever you get. Don't pick who you'd rather play. It doesn't matter. Whoever it is, you got to go through them anyway. It doesn't matter. Play your style of basketball and believe in the way that you have been believing. You can play with anyone in the country.
I want the team that's going to meet them on the hardwood. That's the team I want. Whichever team is willing to play them on the basketball court, that's the team I want. Okay?
Exactly.
Let me tell you something. This state team right here, who do you look up in fear? Last time I checked, didn't we beat the 1, 2, and 3 seed in the ACC tournament?
Sure did.
And last time I checked, the 1 seed in that ACC tournament is also a 1 seed in this NCAA tournament, correct?
That'd be correct.
So it seems to me, methinks at least, that there wouldn't be a big discrepancy in I want this team or this team. Listen, whoever wants it. It's one of those moments. I love my coach Thomas, my high school coach Thomas Witcher to death. And one of the things that he said before we went on to play a state championship against a team that had 13 of them, when the entire city of Detroit didn't have any on a Division I level, he said, we are not stuck on the field with Catholic Central for 60 minutes. They're stuck on the field with us.
Yes.
NC State ain't going to be stuck on the hardwood with Colorado or Marquette. Marquette is going to be stuck with them.
Yes.
And that's what this is. That's the attitude you got to take.
Yeah. I think this is a great comment from Chilton here. The commentating tonight, if you chose to listen to it, I think at this point on, if there's any game going on, I would just turn into Gary Hahn and leave TV to TV. But they kept wondering, all right, is this the point where NC State runs out of gas? They played 5 games last week. Last week does not matter. They got rest. It's not like they're playing 7 games in 7 days. I don't know where this narrative is coming from. They are fine. They're fine. And guess what? They have another week to rest.
Now they get some real rest. Now they get some big boy rest in there.
Exactly. They're fine. They're not going to run out of gas. You think Mo Diarra is going to run out of gas playing his 7th game in the middle of Ramadan? If he was going to run out of gas, he would have done it by now. And
the tank would already be on there.
There is no quit. There is no quit in DJ Burns. There is no quit in DJ Horn. It's the whole team. It's the whole team. There is no quit. You will not find it. It does not exist. So that narrative that they're going to run out of gas, miss me with that, bro. Miss me with that. It ain't a real thing.
I believe Lil Booy, the rapper Lil Booy, came up with a quote about that. He said, I pull up to the tourney, VIP, gas tank on me, on E rather, but all wins on me. That's what the Wolfpack are doing right now, okay? You might think that check engine light is on. You might think that they're getting a low gas thing. They are all right. This team is all right. They're fine. And going into next week, everybody's going to get some rest. Every team's going to be rested. Every team's going to have the time. So, I don't want to hear any more of this. Oh, are they tired? Oh, have they had enough? Reese Davis said that they were riding emotion and they were going to hit a wall. And, it was time. Well,
sorry about it.
Well, maybe you should stick to football, buddy. I don't know. But all I do know is this Wolfpack team keeps winning. And as the elders would say in the church, no, I'm not tired yet.
That's right. They don't understand how a pack works. It's a pack mentality. It's the whole pack. Yeah. It's not a singular wolf. It is the whole pack. And this team embodies that right now. Spectacular win, 79-73 in overtime to advance to the Sweet 16 over Oakland. Our NC State Wolfpack is going to the Sweet 16. I can't stop saying it. And it's true. It's a factual statement, Kenton.
Yeah.
We're going to the Sweet 16.
Yeah, it feels unreal from where we were again, 10 days ago. It feels unreal when we were talking about that loss to Pitt. It feels unreal. But like folks are talking about in the comments, the ACC is 6-1 in the tournament.
Hey, don't tell Joe Lunardi that.
The SEC, the mighty SEC, was 1-5 coming into today. The Big Ten, I believe their record was about 4-2 or 4-3, something along those lines. But they lost to an ACC team that we beat today in terms of Michigan State taking a loss there. The only Power 5 that still has or that had a better record than us is not going to exist next year. That was the Pac-12.
Yep.
So with that in mind, I think it's clear. I don't think there should be too much more talking about what the ACC is or is not. Joe Lunardi, you can take your brackets and stick them where the sun don't shine, because the ACC has continually shined a light on how bad the net metrics are, because any metric that continually is beaten by the same conference time after time after time again. Meanwhile, Kansas is having to get saved by the refs against Samford only to get exposed in the next round. Listen, the ACC is balling. NC State is balling. The ACC champs. The ACC is balling. The ACC champion NC State team is balling. Let the good times roll, baby.
I'll tell you this. We did just talk about the ACC's success in the tournament. Once we get inside to the Sweet 16 here, there's only one ACC team that I care about the rest of the way. This one right here.
Yeah.
This one right here. The NC State Wolfpack. From here on out, it's all about us and no one else. That'll do it for us here on this live show. Thank you all so much for joining us. Good out there and party. If you're going to the Bell Tower, tweet us. Tag us in the videos in the Bell Tower. We got to see all of it. I might just head out to the Bell Tower. What am I talking about? I might just be out there. Let us know what you're up to tonight. Celebrate this. When I say celebrate this, truly celebrate this. It's been not only 9 years since we've been in the Sweet 16. This is Kevin Keats' first and second tournament wins. Just won the ACC championship. We're not going to stop talking about that. Truly feel what's going on right now. Embrace this. Truly embrace this. This is the run for a lot of people. This is the run of a lifetime, and we don't ever want it to stop. We're going to the Sweet 16. We will see you all on Monday. Until then, enjoy this and go Pack.
Go Pack.